one's on.
On.
That one's on.
On number 2.
I'm gonna hit that button. Live on that one.
Live on 3. And Facebook is live too.
And you're gonna have to give me a second to do your watch party.
Waiting on the watch party.
It's always the last thing.
Yep. Watch party is the last thing. And Facebook is still working, which is kind of a miracle.
Okay.
Okay, we're ready.
Turn you just a little, cause
Turn me. Okay, turn. Better?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Now we're actually rolling. Good evening, everybody. Day 14, 2 weeks of doing Crazy Cabin Fever cocktails. It's Saturday night. We're going to do some simple cocktails, but not for tonight. They're going to be simple cocktails for brunch tomorrow for Sunday brunch. These are what are called 2-ingredient cocktails. They're barely a cocktail, but they're delicious. Although we will show you how to make one yourself if you are so inclined. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a mimosa, which would be orange juice and sparkling wine. Don't have either of those. So what I do have is some San Pellegrino sparkling blood orange beverage, which is going to be my base. This is really sweet, so I'm going the other direction from sweet. I'm pulling out some Buffalo Trace White Dog. Now why do I have this? Because I use this in tastings. This is not something you normally just go and buy and drink, but it should be pretty good in here because it's going to bring a lot of heavier character against the ultra sweet. I'm not even going to measure these because this is for staggering up in the morning, making a little hair of the white dog cocktail.
So
okay?
Normally it would be about 1 ounce to 2 ounces depending on how much alcohol you want to drink.
Exactly.
If
So
anybody who wants to measure, I know some people who cannot handle not having a recipe.
we'll put in an approximate recipe for everybody just to make it work. And then I'm just going to fill it up. In there. That's it. Now, if I wanted to garnish this, I would put a little like orange wedge on it. That's the classic. But if I had an orange to make an orange wedge, I could make orange juice and I could make a real mimosa. So that's how that doesn't work. So
Did you just say it here? That's how it does not work. Okay.
It's actually really tasty.
Okay.
It's one of the better uses of the white dog so far. You want to try it?
Yes.
I hand it off screen.
If you want to, are you going to go into the? You're going to go. Never mind. No, you're going to do the virgin one, aren't you?
Oh, I forgot. I was going to forget the mocktail. I almost forgot. It's
good.
basically already a mocktail like this, but if you are doing orange juice and club soda or sparkling works great as a mocktail, and then put a little garnish on it, and actually
Or Sprite or 7-Up.
Sprite, 7-Up, whatever it is. It's 2 ingredients. You're looking for a sparkling, you're looking for an orange or a citrus. It's really good actually if you combine multiple citruses, none of which we have. But if you had
we
like
ran out of oranges and
we totally run out of citrus. We're totally out of citrus. But if you have a little bit of splash of grapefruit, tangerine, something like that, it gives a really nice accent to it. So, hair of the white dog mimosa variant using San Pellegrino blood orange sparkling thing. Okay. Next, would basically be a bourbon Bloody Mary because Bloody Mary is the classic breakfast drink. If you wanted to make your own, start with whatever your tomato is going to be. This is the kind of tomato we have in the house, so this is crushed, which means we would have to puree it with all the other ingredients.
You can use you could use fresh tomatoes, but you can also use a canned tomato, as long as the canned tomato you're aware of what the other ingredients are.
Yes.
Some of them have Italian herbs in them.
That's true.
And that might not make that might make a really good Bloody Mary actually for some people. But you have to pay attention to what is in your canned tomatoes.
Yes, and be aware of if it's chunky like this, this has to be pureed because otherwise you can't drink it. And if you are using fresh tomatoes, you're going to want to reduce them a little bit or squeeze out some of the liquid because they're just going to be too thin. And a Bloody Mary should have some strength to it. And then classically, you're going to have Worcestershire. You're going to have, I think, very often you really want to have horseradish, which we didn't even have. Citrus, which is a small amount. This is Hillary's recipe, actually. Roasted red pepper. She suggests either paprika and red chili pepper flakes or some sort of hot sauce like Cholula. Adding on to that with celery seed, salt, pepper. All of that is to taste. I'm not doing all of that. 2-ingredient cocktail. So I'm using this, which is freaking awesome. Uncle Dougie's Rich and Mild small batch, really? Bloody Mary mix. Everything is small batch nowadays, thanks to Booker. And thick, rich, fresh blended flavor with a subtle touch of heat. This is delicious. It does need a little bit of a shake.
Really, the only reason we're not making the full-on other recipe tonight is that we already had that open in the refrigerator.
Yep.
And we don't really want to be wasteful, so there you go.
Exactly. And this is not technically going to be a bourbon Bloody Mary because I am using this Billy Goat Strut that I picked up last time I was in Louisville. This is from Kentucky Artisan Distillery. This is a North American whiskey, but it actually has a really nice kind of spicy but not overly spicy flavor profile. It's Kentucky Rye and Canadian whiskey blend, and it's 110 proof, but it's a really great price point. This is under 30 bucks. Can't remember exactly what it was.
I don't know at all.
So it's cool, and actually I think it was under 20 because it's 375. Sounds about right. And so I'm just gonna same thing.
Again, 1 ounce to 2 ounces, depending on how much alcohol you want.
Yep.
Or we would just go ahead and tell you that in this instance, you can also just completely leave out the alcohol.
Yeah, it's a great mocktail drink. Just a virgin Bloody Mary is really good.
Because of the intensity of the spices that you would be adding to the tomato juice, to the tomatoes, to the other ingredients that you have there. I like the roasted red pepper idea in terms of adding some complexity to this as well. So, although Tim did, I don't know, did you veto me on the red peppers?
On this?
Yeah.
Adding it to this?
Well, not to the mix too.
Oh no, I think it's fine to add to the mix. I mean, this is probably the drink with the most number of recipes in existence. Give it a little garnish, just so you're feeling fancy, and as if you were going out. And even more of a garnish. Let's put some bacon in there. Yeah, isn't that nice? Isn't that lovely?
Everybody loves bacon. We could have taken the bacon 5 different ways with this too. We thought about a couple different options of doing
really,
either,
really good.
And maybe it's just me that was thinking of doing the bourbon bacon or a candied bourbon bacon. And
Yes.
Maybe I didn't even voice that to Tim, but Tim had already decided he wanted to stick it in the Bloody Mary. So
Yeah, just want to go with it. And it's really good to eat afterwards. But if you cook off bacon, reserve the bacon fat because we're going to do some fun stuff with bacon fat washing at some point, as long as we keep doing all these things. So we had our hair of the white dog there. We have our
Whiskey Bloody Mary.
North American Whiskey Bloody Mary.
That's really long.
And, yeah, it is. And if you need more bourbon, think about making some bourbon maple syrup. So this is Hebron Hills, this is a company that I did a little consulting work for. This is Kentucky bourbon maple syrup. So it's actually aged in used barrels, bourbon barrels from Kentucky.
And the bottom looks a little weird because it's been in our refrigerator for a little while at this point. So
it's
it's kind of
separated on that.
crystallized and might have frozen.
Yeah, I can shake it back together and give it some effort. But one of the ways that I helped develop this product was actually using this little barrel. Back when this was fresh and I could use it for those kinds of things. If you have one of these barrels, they're usually meant for aging cocktails and things. But once you've aged a cocktail or just dumped a bourbon in here for a month or even less and dumped it out, then it's really fun to put in stuff like maple syrup, and that's going to leave, give it 4 or 6 weeks, maybe a little longer. Try to keep it somewhere hot, and then when you dump the maple syrup out, then you can put in some other lesser quality bourbon, something like that, and it's going to infuse the maple syrup back into the bourbon, or maybe make a cocktail like an old fashioned or a Manhattan and put it in there, which is super fun. Or if it's breakfast and it's Sunday and it's early, just put a shot of bourbon in your maple syrup. It works too.
Or,
so there you go.
As we said on all these, basically you can leave out the alcohol and you have a mocktail version or non-alcoholic version of basically every single one of these.
Yep, and they're delicious and they're easy.
So we will have the recipes as simple as they are. Actually, we'll probably do the recipe for approximate recipe on what we think, and maybe we'll test at some point in the future the full ingredient list, bourbon Bloody Mary, and get the recipes online and this video online. Yep. Tonight was a little simpler. We figured it's the weekend. Fewer people are tuning in. They want to have a simple, evening. Maybe they'll catch this later. Maybe they'll catch this before brunch tomorrow, and they want to have brunch at home. So,
all
any
right.
thoughts?
And if you have ideas, comments, suggestions, send them our way. And we will see you tomorrow, Monday at 9. No, Sunday at 9. Tomorrow's Sunday.
It's not
I get
Monday.
there
I did the 24th twice on something, and it's 25th twice on something. I have the count correct. It is day 14.
It's
I
day
don't know
14.
anything else really.
That's how we're counting. We're counting by days now.
Yep.
Dates don't matter.
So, good night, everybody. I'm gonna shut everything
Cheers,
down
good
now.
night.